Yo, what's up? This is Diggy Simmons, and I'm rocking with my people at Hot New Hip Hop. I think one of the biggest things about artistry and people loving an artist is not only people loving their music, but they love who they are. And of course, you say it through the music, who you are, but people first got to know me on Runs Out, so it's like they knew exactly who this person, Diggy, was. And there was a lot of people who were just waiting for something from me, period. Which I can kind of think of now. It was like people got to see me do so many things, whether it was just have fun with music or have fun with clothing, see me with Pharrell, see the way I dressed. So, you know, once it was finished, it was always a question of what are you gonna do? We want something from you. So I think it was cool to be able to have that. And I didn't even think it was gonna be a platform. It was just there, and to think about it that way, it was cool. You don't run away from who you are, you know? So it was like I was able to just come up and, you know, I go into all these different cities for the first time. I'm 15 years old, coming off of Run's house, now making music, you know, I had made just mixtapes at that point. And it was like, you know, how does it feel going from, you know, television to music or whatever? And that's my life. You know, my family are who they are. The idea was really, I mean, it was organic. It wasn't like, you know, oh, I'm gonna do this so I could have some grand entrance back or anything like that. It was just, you know, it felt right for me to do at that time. I was 18. I had toured for like 3 years straight, like my whole kind of adolescence into like becoming a man. And it's like, when you're going through that period for anybody, you're just figuring out who you are. So it was like me doing that, it felt right to just take a step back, live life, and then be able to come back and be like, okay, these are the things I want to talk about. This is what I want to give people, opposed to just forcing myself out there just for the sake of having music out. Like that's not what I stand for, you know, and that's not what I want to give to people and my fans. When I was just turning 19 is around the time that I started making music again, and that's when I just started getting ideas. And then it all kind of worked perfectly, because that's when producers that I really, really loved started hitting me and just started reaching out like, yo, where's Diggy? I need to work with Diggy, where is he? And it all kind of just worked perfectly. Mustard and I probably first met, YG and I did a show together years ago, like probably like 3 years ago. And that was the first time Mustard and I met, because he's always DJ'd for YG. And he was like, yo, I gotta get beats to you. I was like, let's do it. And that's when I was about to put out my first album, like it was basically done. So we had missed the deadline to do anything. And then when I came back doing music, what do you know? It's like one of our first tracks. So it's like picking up where I left off. So when we got the Ain't Bout To Do record, Mustard did his thing, I did my thing, and there was an open verse that I knew somebody needed to be on, somebody needed to touch. And I felt French was perfect. It's New York energy, it's in-house in the city, and it felt right, you know, and French got a great vibe for a record that has so much life to it, so it's perfect. An EP is slated for us to come out. We're just finishing everything up, and we want it to be airtight. So that is the next release gonna come for me, and I already have album records that I've been working on. Well, the title is Out of This World. Features, French Montana is obviously a feature off of that. I don't want to say other features yet, but what I could say is like, I'm really, really excited about these records. We went out to LA, we did them, we finished them in a matter of like 5 records in 5 days. So, you know, I just think it's like an exciting time for me just to be able to come back and then give people something that I'm really passionate about. There's a record already that features somebody who's been in the game for a while that's really dope, that will most likely be the next record and is my favorite record off of the EP. My fans have already heard it. Well, they kind of heard it. Like I played it on Ustream, I previewed it. It's called Can't Relate, and that's like one of my favorite records I've ever done. And I also did release 2 other records, Honestly, which reached like 1 million views on SoundCloud in like a couple weeks, which was really dope. And then we released a record called Fall. It's weird, I think. I mean, just to think not being a teen anymore and it's like 20 feels older, you know, to me. So, I mean, I'm happy to be seeing another year. I'm gonna have a lot of friends, I'm gonna have a lot of family, loved ones coming out. And I think it's just gonna be fun overall, man. The place is at Irving Plaza. It's on March 20th. New York is obviously my birthplace. I have so many incredible fans here. They've supported me from the very, very beginning of my career. These were where all of my first shows were. So to have it here only makes sense. So Irving Plaza, March 20th, 20th birthday concert. Right now, my head is just really into music and being creative. That's all I do really every day. It's like whether it's actually being in the studio, and if I'm not in the studio and it's even like a show day, it's like I'm coming up with ideas. They're just coming to me. I'm voice noting them. I'm sending them to producers. I even want to produce myself. I just like really realized that I kind of want to start messing around with the keys and, you know, really learn how to play the keys so I can, you know, produce the way I want to. Just so I can be as creative as I want to be.
So I want to do a game with you real quick.
Okay.
It's called Justine's First.
Okay.
So what's the first time you went to a concert?
The first concert I ever went to was the Scream tour when Chris Brown was on it. Yeah.
Okay. When's the first?
We can't be porch monkeys. If you know what I'm saying, we have to show our intelligence as artists across the board, and especially as rap artists. I'm all for having a good time, but that was my inner conflict for a long time.